Welcome back to the Unstoppable Podcast, and today I am with Rob. Rob, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Hyrox today, of course, our speciality.
Yeah.
Rob is also a Hyrox coach and also one of the Hyrox ambassadors for the UK. And also has just opened an amazing gym up in Lytham, which, by the way, if you're local, definitely go up there. But Rob, tell everyone a little bit about you, like who you are. Who are you?
Okay. I'm Rob. I've just opened up a gym in Lytham, which was so I went from in-person coaching. Was doing really well with like group coaching and stuff like that. We outgrew the gym where we were. Moved to the next place, but on the back of that, it was a lot of the clients were like getting really into Hyrox and stuff like that. So it was just good to see the journey, like follow him around the UK, going abroad with him and stuff like that. It was so we just made the most out of that, and the gym's only been open because of those guys. I thought like, it wasn't for them, and that wouldn't be a thing. But it's been, obviously you've been around us since the beginning, like, so you know the journey. So you've seen it all grow, but yeah, it's been a good ride.
100%, and it's like we were saying before this, we're like veterans.
Yeah.
We're like veterans of the sport now compared to some people. We weren't people who started like this year. We've been here for the last 2 and a bit years, going into our third season now. Wow. Talk to us about that first season. Like, what made you divert into like coaching this?
So I started with so I've always had been in like functional fitness, CrossFit background, and then I was doing like CrossFit competitions, just like your local ones around, and like strength in depth and things like that. And then I seen Hyrox pop up. It was in Glasgow. Done the first race. Obviously, so I got disqualified, but like at the best time.
Just talk to everyone about this disqualification, because some people don't understand this.
So you've got 8 stations that you've got to stick to. I've missed out the burpees. And then while I'm doing the next station, I'm trying to talk to the judge. And I was like, where's the burpees? He said, oh, you've missed them. I said, oh, I'm going to go back and do them. He's like, no, don't do that because you'll get disqualified. But in my head, I'm thinking, well, I want to do the full workout because that's what because it's a workout. I couldn't do it. And so I've gone back, done the burpees. So then I've got 2 penalties, for going in one section wrong and then the other section wrong. So when I've crossed the line, it was like 7 plus, I think it was 2 4-minute penalties. And then if you get 2, disqualification. But that was still the most enjoyable Hyrox race that I've done. Like, walked all the rock zones, done it probably the way everyone's like, say, you got to run them, drinking water, just enjoying it. All the pictures, I'm smiling my head off, and that was the most enjoyable one. And then after that, just the next one is you try and beat your next time. But it was just getting everyone else excited about those races. It was just good to see the journey of everyone else enjoy what you just enjoyed, and I've gone down.
Yeah, and that's very similar to myself, and like seeing everyone else be successful is what gives me the joy and finding themselves. I was having this conversation before, and it's like all good and well training, podium finishes, like that's brilliant. Yeah. But like we were saying, Hyrox is for like everyone. You're not aiming for the top 2% who go to Worlds consistently. Yeah. It's about what about that 98%?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which it is for everybody. Yeah. And seeing people cross that finish line who probably didn't think they could probably even do anything like that is incredible. It's like me and you, we're like them batshit crazy coaches who will travel all over the world to watch our athletes. Literally watch our athletes from the sidelines.
No, it's like you see me at this time screaming, I lose my voice.
Yeah, so do I. We're both there dying. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But we was also speaking about how the pressure sometimes gets to you as a coach to perform and even probably look as well a certain way. Yeah,
definitely. I think
talk about that.
Well, because the way it looks on Instagram now is the way everyone's like promoting themselves is, oh, if you want a flag, if you want to qualify, then you have like we're the people to come and see your. And I'm thinking, oh, do I need to be getting serious times to do well as a coach? But like me, I've got into it because I enjoy the journey of seeing someone like most of the people that come to me, they just want coaching because they think, I don't want to look an idiot going around the track because I don't know what I'm doing. They don't want to go and get a flag. They just want to like be reassured that they're going to do the right thing. And to see those people cross the line, to see them like I'm being shouting that much, and I jump over the fence and I'm hugging them and they're crying and stuff. Just seeing that's better than seeing. Obviously, it's good to see them on the podium, but to see them like just in disbelief that they've even completed it. That is, to me, that's mint. Like I enjoy that.
100%, and for me as well, it's like it's the complete journey.
Yeah.
From going from nothing to absolutely 100, and actually understanding themselves, understanding their body, but also like completely transforming the lifestyle with it. Like, yes, the podium finishes, and obviously like a lot of the girls I coach were starting from the ground up, but one day there will be podium finishers, and it's like, yes, it might not be this year, might not be next year, but they're in it for the journey. They're obsessed with the journey. And I'm actually reading a book at the minute about mental performance for athletes to obviously help support the girls, of course, because that's all I do is do things to support the girls. But in that book, one of the is a sports psychologist, and he was speaking about the athletes who succeed and the athletes who don't succeed, or it's a bit more like jarred. And it's because the people who have got them intrinsic motivators to strive for more for themselves, and then the people who've got the extrinsic motivators of beating everybody else, the competition, they both thrive. But the people with the intrinsic have got so much more drive about them because they're constantly wanting to prove to themselves more, and they're the types of people we coach, and they're the ones who enjoy the journey the most, and they succeed
100%.
a lot better than what the other ones do.
They're getting more out of it than the other like, because so like just the pleasure of just beating your own time or just doing something that you didn't think you were gonna complete. It's like a marathon. Completing a marathon is an achievement in itself. Completing a Hyrox is an achievement in itself. Just that, it doesn't have to be, what time did you get? It doesn't matter. You've just done like an amazing thing. You should be celebrating the fact that you just completed it.
Yeah. And I think people underestimate how tough the actual race is.
Yeah.
Like, guys, we can't just keep rocking up on the day and expecting to do well. I've
got a guy, and I've known him before this.
Right, okay.
He's living in Oz, in Australia.
Oh, I know who you mean.
Yeah. He's like, So I've got another client. She podiumed at the weekend, and he's seen this. He's like, there's another race up in like 2 weeks' time. All right, yeah. I booked it. Right. Well, like, do you know that you just can't? He's like, yeah, be fine. I'd done a Hyrox class at some local gym, and I'd done the doubles as a solo. I was like, all right, okay. And how'd you get on? Well, it was a 16-minute AMRAP. I was like, right. It just did it before everyone else. Thinking, oh, wow, okay.
All right, so then that made him think he can book it and be podiuming.
And now he's doing it 16 days. So just go and run like an hour for me. He's never run further than a 1K. But to be fair, he's done all right on the run, so I think he run like...
Bear in mind, this person he's on about is fairly fit. Like, he's not like...
He's like he's more bodybuilder.
Yeah. But, like, I think people underestimate the race, and they look at it and they think, oh, it's 8K running, it's split up between stations, the stations I'm absolutely fine on. Yeah. And then they're like, that should be all right. Yeah. But no training, I don't think people understand what it does to the body.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and you coach people all the time. We see what it does to the body. Physically, firsthand, can see what it does to our bodies. And if you don't prepare, I've injured myself in my race. Rob also has injured himself and broke his... What was it?
So I fractured my fibula and tore the tendon.
In a race.
Yeah.
And that's us who are experts in this.
Yeah.
Now, for people who are... I would say who are racing, obviously Birmingham is like around the corner.
Yeah.
This will probably be released in 4 weeks' time, so like we're 11 weeks away now.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be, I'm going to say like 8 weeks away from Birmingham. What would you say to people who aren't even training yet?
run. You've got to run. You need to like, everyone thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to practice my burpees or practice my, really like running will get you fit regardless. So you could, I'm not saying you can get away with just running, but like if you've got 8 weeks left and you've not been running, you got to run. You got to get used to being in that state for. But you can't. Well, for example, you can't just go to like these 45-minute classes. You've got to be used to being in the state of however long you're going to be competing for. So, like, say if you're going to do, I think the average time for a guy is like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've got to be used to training for 90 minutes. So, and the easiest way to do that, I suppose, is run for 90 minutes if you can't do anything else.
Even if it's a zone 2.
Yeah, just get used to your body being under stress for that amount of time.
100%, and it's like there's a lot of shit, shall we say, going on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at the minute, dressing up fancy things that are super, super simple, but also then being like, you're just overcomplicating it for people here. And it's like, what are you doing? What would you say to someone who's kind of looking at that and then probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed?
Yeah, I'd say when you think there's not, obviously, there is a lot to it, but there's not a lot to it. I just keep it really, really simple. As long as you're fueling right before your workouts.
Yeah.
You're not doing too much in like high intensity, like further away from the race. To leave that to closer to the race. But right now, about 8 weeks, it's more volume, like quality volume, especially like even if you get the opportunity to go and see like a running coach, just make sure you're running properly and correctly. Like that's like obviously we were with Jake and Mark the other day and just like listening to how when you run, when you're tired and your running form just goes to pot, if you can just get that nailed on, so when you're running tired, you're still running correctly, and that is less injuries, mobility, obviously that's...
For sure.
Yeah.
Like that's something, and I obviously will speak to people all the time who are like wanting coaching or like wanting a training program, because you've got, obviously you're an online training partner for Hyrox now. Yeah. Well done. And also as well, you coach one-to-one and also do your classes. Like, you will speak to so many people throwing sessions in for the sake of throwing sessions in. Because
people are scared. They're like, oh, well...
It's out of fear, isn't it?
I've seen this guy and he's putting all he's training out 3 times a day. Yeah, but what's he doing 3 times? He's not... I bet he's not doing 3 long runs a day, or he'll have like a short 20 minutes and this and that. And that's obviously how you get injured. And
it's like, when you do see people training, say, twice a day, 6 times a week, having 1 full rest day, I'm going to say Mark and Jay because obviously they do train that amount. But, like, they're training with a structure. Yeah. Like, they're not just doing things just for the sake of...
They won't just decide on the day what they're
like, I'll go and just do some erg work. Yeah. Or I'll go and just put... Well, Mark did say just push sleds on sleds on sleds until he got better at them. But...
He's just a freak.
He's just a freak of nature. Like, he's an elite level athlete. He's done triathlons, Ironmans. Like, he is just a different ball game. But, like... normal everyday people, like, I'm just using the name Karen, please do not get me cancelled for saying Karen, but like Karen, mum of 2, works full time, seeing stuff like
98%, like
the 98% of Hyrox, seeing stuff like that, it's really overwhelming. And I've literally just spoken to a lady, and she said that what's been programmed for her at the minute, she's mum of 4. She is a full-time mum, so she has got a little bit of time in her hands. However, the structure of training is not efficient enough. And I think I cannot stress it enough, and I think you'll agree, efficiency with training for Hyrox is so key. Like, you can't be just doing shit. Yeah,
the quality of the session.
Quality over quantity, for sure. And it's like, if you do feel like increasing the session, if you have more time available, you start loving the lifestyle of it. Yeah. That's when you can start adding in sessions which are quality and purposeful. But you're not doing, like, for example, we'll go off heart rate zones because quite a few people are understanding that now. Like, you're not going to hit zone 5 every single session that you do.
You shouldn't even be in.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
Like, 80% of your runs should be chilled. 80% of your workouts should be chilled, but it's just that 20%. As long as you know that you can hit it when you need to hit it. But like, you got to run slow to run fast. That's just, it's just trying to tell people that.
And it's understanding that as well, and it's like not overwhelming yourself with so much as well. And I think there's so much science within Hyrox, and it reverts back to like people posting stuff who have done one Hyrox or not done a Hyrox at all and giving advice. And it's like, you don't really understand the race. You've never done it. You don't understand the factors that it does to you.
That's the scary thing about Instagram. Anyone can just write what they want. And say if you're panicking because you've got like... Because it isn't... Like, if you never... It's embarrassing.
It's a big thing.
You're going to run around with all these strangers. So, like, you're willing to, like, look at or read whatever's up there. And you don't know... If you're new into it, you don't know who's credible and who's not. You're just, oh, well, this guy done this on Instagram, so I'm going to train 4 times a day. But really, even if you're training... Like, the professionals, if they're going to train twice a day, they'll train first thing in the morning and they'll have their longest break, like rest, refuel, you know, they'll be ready, even go to sleep, get a little nap, and then they'll go again. But like, normal people, like the 98%, we've got jobs.
Yeah.
We're going to work, like, your body's under stress at work. You're not relaxed. These, like, Olympians and athletes, they're resting, they're going to sleep. Like, it's no, we've got to eat, we've got to, like, pay bills. It's just...
We're normal people.
Yeah. So it's what it is, but yeah.
Like, and as well off the back of that, like, I think it's really as well disregarding to the elite level athletes of people who just rock up in the day and think, I'm going to get a podium.
Yeah.
With, like, good having confidence, you need confidence or else you're going to crumble.
Yeah.
But also rocking up to the day. And me and Em on the podcast last week actually touched on this. And you do work with a lot of people who finish on podium. And it's like, they've trained hard to get there.
Yeah.
Like, they've not just shown up by chance.
Yeah.
They've probably done athletics or done sport all of their lives. Like, they're not just people who are just rocking up on the day who's done strength training for the last 3-4 years, started running and then got on a podium.
Well, we'll see what happens with Ryan.
Well,
in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, that could also happen.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just going to be happy to see him cross the line.
Yeah, 100%. And because obviously Hyrox is a sport for everyone, I think as well with us having that thing of like, it is for everybody.
Yeah.
It's designed for everybody.
Yeah.
And for them normal everyday athletes, as I like to call them, because I'm not being funny, when you do Hyrox, you're an athlete, like, you are, like, whether you consider yourself or not, like, you are entering a sport.
Yeah.
You're an athlete.
Yeah.
And having that 98% there for the everyday people, running alongside the elites, like the people who are going to be stepping into that next generation of elites, I think it's something truly, truly special and also really inspiring.
Yeah.
But it's also really easy to get in your own head.
100%, yeah.
How would you kind of navigate that for someone who is either going into the next season, they've done a season of Hyrox racing and they're like, right, I really want to push this, really want to get into the next level, but they're worried about kind of them mindset kind of blocks that come into the race? Like, what makes that athlete unstoppable? I
do believe that, like, I can see it in the mindset of the people that have got the podiums, with the coached. They believe that, like, it's all in the head. I'm telling you, like, they believe they're going to get that podium. And you can see it in them before they even start the race. It's like, and the difference between someone that's going to enjoy it, they like, in their head, they know they're not getting a podium, but the sound of it, but the ones that are like, that I've seen grab a podium, they are there to win. Like, like, the eyes change before they start, and like the way they tackle everything and the way they like analyse, like, okay, right, what splits are they getting? What splits are they getting? I think that's the mindset is a massive, massive thing.
100%. And we obviously both touched on that with our athletes a lot. What would you, if someone is wanting it, the head's there, but they don't truly wholeheartedly believe it yet?
Yeah.
what would you suggest that they do to get to that point where they just flip? Like,
what do you mean?
So what would you kind of suggest to someone? Like, they've got the idea, like, that's where they want to head. Like, they know that's where they're heading. They don't know when it's going to be or whatever.
Yeah.
But when they show up to that start line, they know wholeheartedly they've got this and they're going to get on that podium or they're going to get an X amount of time.
Yeah, I think, well, if you believe something that much, I'm not trying to go down like the whole spiritual thing, but if you believe it, I honestly do think that you can make it happen. Like, you've got to like manifest it. Like, I've got a mindset coach, well, and that's what he's saying to me. Like, because I've done my back in at Milan, I've just done my foot, and I'm thinking,
is it for me?
What my foot goes, what my back goes, and then I feel like I'm creating these like issues in my head. And he's like, just so what? You can't change that. Like, if it goes, it goes. Like, there's nothing you could like. You have to decide what you can and can't change about your race. And I think if we've gone a little bit off topic, but it's like, but that's one thing that's always stuck in my mind. I was thinking, why am I worried about something that I can't change? I'm going to snap my foot. I'm going to snap my foot. I'm still going to go and finish it because I'm an idiot. Like, if I've done my back, it's the mindset thing. I didn't appreciate it being so important as when I started talking to this guy, and then he's like, literally goes down the road of like belief, you're some kind of like animal and stuff, and it's a proper thing. But
it's embodying something else.
Yeah.
Like, you know me, I'm into my mindset and all of that, and this podcast is predominantly based on mindset and like how you approach situations. But like, the difference between you truly believing and having that little bit of doubt is where them self-sabotaging thoughts come in.
Yeah, because you can ruin your own race with your own mind. You can be the fittest,
100%.
Fittest person out there, but if you don't believe, I think, oh, he's faster than me. He's going to be faster than you because you've already had, like, let it happen. Like, have you ever seen Pumping Iron?
No.
It's like an old, like a Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilder thing, and so back in the day they were competing with him in this, the guy that played Hulk. And this guy, the guy who played Hulk, he was in better condition than Arnie, but Arnie just got in his head the day before and just like made him believe that he was better than him. And then that's how he won.
They do it all the time. Like, again, in that book, I'll actually send it you because it's actually really, really good. It was like athletes play mind games with each other with confidence. Yeah. Like, probably your athletes. Oh, what was she called? The lady with the pink on Saturday.
Holly in Australia.
No.
Oh, no. Susie.
Yeah. Oh, she's an animal. Like, absolute animal. Seeing her at the start line with the confidence, because obviously she was there with one of our athletes as well at the side by side, and it was like her confidence. Yeah. Like,
she believed that she's.
But even if you don't fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you don't truly believe it, but you've got that shadow of belief.
Because everyone else then is like, geez, who's that? Like, one of the videos...
Psychological games.
Exactly. One of the videos that me mindset coach sent, it was literally, I think it was Djokovic, and how he comes out and he's like, there's the two tennis players, and Djokovic is there, like, doing all this mad tennis stuff. The other guy's like that. The other side of him thinking, but he's already won. Before the game started, he's already won. But that's... Yeah, it's a powerful thing. Yeah,
the mind is so powerful. And... with that being said, have you ever got to, like, obviously you did your foot, you did your back. Have you ever got to the point of being like, this is the lowest of the low, I'm not gonna...
Yeah, well, on the wheelchair, only because I think, because that day, that weekend, I'd booked 3 tickets thinking, yeah, I'm Superman, I'm gonna do all 3, and I'd just done the one. And then, so it's quite a funny story actually, because Lucy, the missus, she booked for a solo, but that was the day after on the Sunday. So, and then she's decided, this was an open, so she decided to change her ticket to a pro, but this was right after the race, and because so her mind's all over the place, so she needed me there to set her off. And so she didn't know that I was gone to hospital, so I'm telling the videographer, I said, don't tell her that I've gone, because she won't do the race. Oh, God. So she's on the ski.
Oh, Lucy.
I know. So, and Tom's on like video, and he's like, where is he? He's like, you can't lie. He's like, he's gone to hospital, but he said not to say anything.
Oh, he's so nice, Tom, as well.
Yeah, so that was a story with that. But yeah, it's that was a crazy time. Well, Sue's actually come with me to the hospital.
Yeah, because you raced with the herd, didn't you?
Yeah, and she was like, the noises that were coming out of us and the screams and, yeah, come back and missed the podium.
How did that make you feel when you was in that moment?
Which bit?
All of it.
It's at the time on the race, I just thought, because we obviously coming up to the race, we knew something was up with the foot, we just didn't know what it was. Then, so I took the running out of my programme. And then I was doing a 1K run before we started, just running around the arena.
To test it.
Yeah. I thought, do you know what? Yeah, let's just go. Like I was having to land. Obviously, you know when you run, you got to land on your toes, and this foot, I was landing like flat. Thinking if I can just land flat for an hour,
you'd be all right.
So we're off. And we're like, there's a darting around at Glasgow, aren't you?
Yeah, because you got your chicane and it was busy track as well.
Yeah, and we got to come off the ski. I thought, right, let's go. And I thought, oof, that doesn't feel good. And then I'm looking back on the videos, and you can limping from when running from each side of the sled, burpees. I'm jumping, I'm landing on one foot. I just remember Susie turned to me. She's like, "You're all right?" And I'm just like, "Just go, just get me through this. Just don't stop running." Cross the line, lie on the floor when you do all that stuff. Thinking, can't walk. So then I've got my hands and knees, and I've got to the benches, or the deck chairs, and everyone's like, "Wow, what's up with your face? You all right? You look like you're gonna be sick." Yeah, I do feel a bit. But when everyone's saying to you, "Oh yeah, you look like you're gonna be sick," you start believing, let the mindset.
You go
like,
again.
I'm gonna be sick. Sound. And then I was like, "Right, you got to stand up. It's for your picture." Oh, can't stand up. And then I could see the guy with the wheelchair at the side, like...
In the side eye.
Yeah, like the Top Gear when they've got like the loaner car, that's what it felt like. Oh. And then they've tried again, nope, not coming up. I thought, I'm gonna have to get my hands, get busy. And then the wheelchairs come out, the guy from Rock Zone podcast was there, thinking, oh no. So I had to go out, hands over my head, and then I was half glad that I'd done something bad to it, because if I went out and they were like, oh, you just
done a
sprain or something, then it was... But yeah, so it was a good story for the storybooks anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it's like, how have you come back from that now?
That was...
it's a rocky road from injury.
That was, yeah. Because I was getting around with a boot on for ages and still managing to... Because I was still in the mix of it because everyone else was competing and I had to pull out of races and watch everyone compete. So I still feel like I was involved because I had clients that were racing the races, so I still got the chance to go around and enjoy it with them. But it was hard to see everyone improve, and you're just thinking, wow, am I done now? Like, is this going to happen all the time? I'm going to do my foot again, but it just proves that we're not indestructible, and you can't you'll always learn from your mistakes. And I know now that I was hammering it, and I know how to go back and train for my running properly. And
do you think that was out of fear as well, because you wanted to do well?
Yeah, because we've had this conversation before. You feel as a coach that by my own stupidity, I can look back now and look, I was feeling like, well, I've got to be winning. I've got to be getting good times, or no one's gonna trust anything that I've got to say. When really, it doesn't matter what your times are. You still, if you've been, for example, if you've been doing these races for this amount of years, it's impossible for you not to know
your
how
shit.
to do it. It's the race hasn't changed. It's still the same 8K and 8 stations. But just as it's like a reassurance for yourself, because it's not in a bad way, but you kind of think, because they are looking up to you and they want to beat you, but I'd want to be able to impress my, because they want to impress you. I want to impress my coach. Oh, I've got the same time as you. I've got a better time than you. So, but just to keep them wanting to come back, you feel like you have to perform properly. It's the pressure of.
It is the pressure of the game, and we've spoke about it quite a lot, before this, and a little bit on this as well. It is pressure.
Yeah.
And that's why my foot went in Manchester, because I was just hammering the runs, hammering the intervals, pushing my body too much. I had to actually, back in December, because I thought I had fractured my foot, 'cause I couldn't walk on it at all. Was due to race in Manchester, and it obviously, the hospital is shit when it comes to like them sort of injuries. And they was just like, yeah, just roll like an ice ball or an ice bottle of water on your foot. It's going to ease the pain. You'll be fine. If it's still like this in the next few weeks, come back. It kind of eased. I could walk on it again, so I was like, oh, sound like it's going to be nothing. Started running again two weeks later. Built my running back up. Literally 2 weeks before Manchester. Then obviously you have to taper down. Didn't run that week at all. Oh yeah, I did a 5k steady run. Actually, Hunter, when I was doing my shakeout run at Manchester, we were walking back from Manchester Convention Centre, and it was like, keep going. I was like, you don't have a clue who I am, but yeah, thanks. Anyway,
done the fastest 5k you ever done.
I was like, literally, I was running past him. I was like, this is meant to be a shakeout, but I'm gonna speed it up. And then I went into Manchester, and I put so much pressure on myself.
Yeah. This is local as well, Manchester.
Manchester's like, I hate racing in Manchester because of that reason.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate racing in Manchester for that reason, because I feel like there's all eyes on.
Yeah.
And I feel the pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And like, you've kind of
but
done...
that's you've put
my
that pressure.
Nobody else.
That's my thing. It's
my pressure. And obviously foot went, then I was injured for 16 weeks, couldn't run for 16 weeks, which is 4 months out of...
Yeah.
And then me, the same as you, feeling very much like I was falling behind. Are people going to want to still coach with me?
Yeah.
But people coach with us because we're us.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah, well, yeah, guys, if you're listening to this, we hope you are coached, you being coached by us, because for us. But like, yeah, the podium finishes are great. The World Championship finishes are great. Like, everyone wants to strive for that, and I think it's absolutely amazing that people are wanting to raise their own standard.
Yeah.
But it's also being realistic as well with your abilities and where you're currently at. And I think it's hard to have them conversations sometimes with people of being like, it's not necessarily going to be this year.
Yeah.
But then that's what makes us good coaches, because we were saying as well, like, it's so easy to get caught up in this rat race of just pushing and pushing and pushing, go straight into like the pre-comp phase where it's very intense. And when you first start coaching, like with me or yourself, like it's intense, obviously, it's going to challenge you, but it's not going to be like Hyrox sweaty wads consistently every day.
That's what people think.
And that's what people think for training for Hyrox is.
Well, we said this before, like you get messages like, oh, I can do more, you know. Yeah, I hope you can, but like, you want them to be like a dog on a lead, like as if they can do more, like as if they're ready to go. But then you see it on Instagram, like, oh, just snuck another run in. Just chill.
Just stop it. Yeah. You're programmed for a reason. Yeah. We do fitness tests for a reason. We coach in a very similar way in that type of point. Yeah. And the fitness tests are there so we can see your fitness levels at a baseline level and work yourselves up to the standard that you're wanting to get to. So you say you want to get X time or want to get your run pacing down to a certain time, you have to reverse engineer that back. Exactly. And it's not just about going into like a speed block or like heavy run, heavy like endurance, like muscular endurance block. Like, you need to build the foundations before you can start adding all like the wads in, the like the top piece of the like kind of cake. Like, you need to put your eggs, your flour, your milk
the boring
in.
stuff in. That's like, but everyone wants to do the end stuff first, because you've got into Hyrox because you enjoy it. Like,
you enjoy the race.
Yeah. Like even when it starts off with people just do Hyrox classes at the local gym. They're enjoyable. That's what they're there for. But if you want to start taking it seriously, you shouldn't be just living on Hyrox classes, because they're not there they're not designed to get you fast for your race. They're like a laugh. It's a workout, which is really what Hyrox is. That's why
the community is amazing. That's why it thrives so well. Yeah. And it's like, even you, coming from you who owns a gym, makes a living off having Hyrox classes, is saying it is so important to have that other training outside of the classes.
100%. Like, that's what I said it the other week, and I was like, you can't just, if I've got Birmingham, for example, I'm just going to come and do these 2 Hyrox classes a week. No, you need to be coming to the strength class, you need to be coming to the running class. It's all programmed on purpose in a way to peak you
at the right time.
At the right time, but it's time again, I suppose. It's not Hyrox is for everyone, but not everyone's got five sessions a week. And it's just one of them.
And if someone, say for example, is wanting to race in Hyrox, but they can only train for like 3 times a week, what would you suggest?
I'd say 100% get a strength session in. Running, obviously. Yeah. If you can squeeze on your running at the end of the strength, like, because 3 is not a lot. If you can squeeze it on like a little
tiny
compromise
bit.
run, yeah. Obviously not like a...
Even if it's 3K?
Yeah, just something, just to get used to running with tired legs. And then your third one, depending on how close you are to the race, I'd say some kind of Hyrox specific, work on skill work, running, I'd just throw it all into...
And with me, and you'll probably agree, like Hyrox specific work should only come in that last 6 times, like 6 to 8 weeks pre-race. Like you shouldn't be really...
Exactly.
You shouldn't be really touching a sled, you shouldn't be touching a burpee, you shouldn't be touching... I mean, erg work's really, really useful for building your cardiovascular fitness.
If you've done the correct, like, strength work, like, for example, wall balls,
you'll be sound.
thrusters and all that work, it will play on, but, like, I think people just like the reassurance of being able to do the
heavy stuff.
It's just like dragging them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And for me, and you'll also realise as well, now we've had the wealth of experience that we've got within the race, within coaching, like, what would you say, I know like my 3 main things for making or breaking an athlete, what would you say that they are?
What do you mean from making or breaking?
Making or breaking the athletes, like the performance levels.
Okay. Nutrition.
Yeah.
Sleep. Mindset.
Yeah. I would agree on absolutely every single one of them. Because I think...
Sleep's massive. Like...
People who say like they can run off 6 hours sleep and...
And it's free. It's the easiest one to do. Just do it.
Easiest way to recover.
Yeah. And it's like... You don't have to try hard to go to sleep. And it's like, I had someone like yesterday, one of my clients yesterday, he was like, right, I've been working late, but if I can squeeze in like 4 hours sleep, I can manage and get this run done tomorrow. I was like, well, no. So it's always sleep over training every time.
And I think that's so important to reiterate. Like, it is, like, sleep, like you said, is free for 1. 2, that's when your body's most at optimal rest.
Yeah.
And as well, like, that's when your central nervous system is at rest. That's why it is so important to get enough sleep in. That's why sleep is so important. Yeah. And that's when you see injuries happen when people aren't getting enough sleep, good quality sleep. Yeah. That's also then part of your nutrition and your hydration. Yeah. Like, if your nutrition's not good and your hydration's not good, your sleep's not going to be good. And with, obviously, you coach women as well. I only coach women. It's really hard sometimes breaking that wall down of, like, you actually need to eat to fuel.
Yeah. But people, because they've come from, like...
dieting.
Yeah. Or, like, they want to... A lot of clients, they want to look good for this race. They're like, right, I'm going to drop this, I'm going to drop that. And then they come and you'll see when they've, like... All the abs are out, they're looking great, but that's not...
That's all that's looking good, guys.
Yeah. But, like, you need to be... The perfect athlete should look a little bit soft, so they can hold, obviously, water. Like, you don't want to be skin, like...
You don't want to be chiseled.
Well, because you're just going to go into cramp.
I mean, it looks great, but...
Yeah, but it's hard because you do want to look good when a lot of people just want getting into it to lose weight for a lot of the time as well. Which
I think is a really, really, really big red flag.
Yeah.
Like, for me, personally, I won't coach anyone who wants to get into the race for that reason.
Yeah, that's a good shout, that.
It's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, that's bad, having that bad, like, relationship with food, especially. I think to get the most out of that session, because obviously it's hard grafting for Hyrox. When you're doing, like, your Hyrox specific, or
guys, running, it's not just like your 8K run and then you're like just a little bit of something. It's intense.
But that's you need to be fueling properly. That's the best thing I like about it. It's like, I'm going to train sound. I'm going to have loads of honey, banana, like.
Oh, yeah. I'm not being funny. I've never been able to eat as much food in my life.
Yeah, that's the best thing. It's the best thing about this training,
and I think if you are getting into the race to lose weight, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Like, the race is not about that.
No.
I think, as a byproduct, you tend to lean down, but that's because you're eating better quality of foods, because you know if you start eating shit, you then feel shit. You feel shit, you perform shit, you're then going to look like shit, your sleep's going to be shit. Like, everything's just going to, like, be a massive, like, cycle. And I think there's no point doing all of that training when the two main things
it's just the easiest thing
to function isn't there.
But you can tell the diff, like, you can tell when you're not being fueled right, when you have been fueled right. It's just this. You'll finish a session and you think, that wasn't
weren't great.
Nah, and you just trust me. Getting to eat that and train, that's the best thing. That's probably the reason why I do it. Just
eat so much.
Shit, yeah, exactly.
And the thing is as well, like, when you're in that kind of mindset, it's so hard to break it, because again, like, we work with a lot of people who've been in that cycle but now have sick of that cycle and then wanting to do this and focus more on performance. And there's also, like, that massive, it's a bit clunky, that transition between that mindset to this newfound mindset. But once you've got this newfound mindset, you are, like, on for an absolute winner, because like we were saying, you fuel to perform, you perform so much better, then you believe in yourself 100%. A lot better, because you're giving yourself that evidence to be
it's
better.
Like, obviously, you've come from, like, I don't know what your past is with coaching, but, like, before I got into Hyrox coaching, it was like you used to have a lot of guys that would come for, like, transformations and stuff. So you kind of have to coach them different, because you are getting them to cut calories and stuff. And
the type of training that you do for that, though, it's just like getting a pump on. That's
all
you're doing. You're not actually training.
So, like, and that's the typical online coach will say, right, okay, what's your body fat this week? What needs to do your checking photos and stuff. And it's that, I feel like that kind of creates, like, a bad relationship with food. And then
yourself.
Yeah. It's like they can't enjoy what do you know what I mean? And then coming away from, it was a breath of fresh air. It's like actually stopping all that and just coming away and doing this type of training and letting them eat more relaxed and obviously eating the carbs that they want to eat and stuff like that. That was the one thing that I do prefer, like, that check-in photo thing.
It's annoying, because it's like some people define their worth by how they look, or what the scales have, or what measurements are there, and it's like, oh well, I've not lost this week in inches, centimetres, I don't look any better. I'm going to kind of push harder in the gym. And then it actually works backwards because it doesn't work like that.
It's like a weird thing with girls. Girls like, right, I want to weigh this much because I want to impress another boy.
It's never about the weight. It's.
I can guarantee you now, I have never said in the pub to one of my mates or wherever we've gone out, I've never said to anyone, I want a 9 stone girlfriend, ever. No guys ever. So I don't know why they're like, I want to be 9 stone.
Oh, Lucy, watch out.
But it's just like, one thing, I've never understood that, like, why girls want to be a certain weight. Like, one 9 stone girl can look so much different to another 9 stone girl.
Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't know why I'm saying 9, I'm used to when it comes to
9 stone, whatever. But, like, even with me, it's like, athletes at elite level, they say they want to get to a certain weight, but also as well, like, for me, I think it's really, really frustrating when you see these elite level athletes as well, not necessarily just within Hyrox, but like within sport in general, where it's like you've got to be you've got to be lighter to be faster.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Well, look at what happened to
Hunter. And with me, like, I've been at my lightest. I had no energy. I had zero energy. I had no muscle. Like, I was just completely, like, depleted. I was getting ill. This was literally between World Championships in Glasgow last year.
Right, yeah.
And I was going through, like, a dieting fix. I believed I've got to be lighter to be faster, because running, I'm not being funny, like, running was my weakest thing. Still is. Like, out of all of it, it's my weakest point, but it's always going to be your weakest point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to want to be faster. And it really wrote me off, and that really changed my perception on the nutrition, and also as well, like, it's not always better to be lighter.
Yeah, 100%.
or to look a certain
Yeah.
way. For me, personally, it's like you've got to find your personal sweet spot of what's right, and you know just from your performance.
It's never the same as anyone else. It's like that's the tricky thing about it. It's like when people, so what do you race at? What race do you, it makes no difference.
Doesn't make a difference. I race at whatever race.
Yeah.
I don't weigh myself anymore.
Nah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, I do that.
Do you?
Yeah, only because I've got this app on my watch that tells me to weigh myself, and it's just like a weird set of scales.
Is it like a body fat one?
Yeah, it just says jump on the scales. Oh, they're there. I'll have a go. But then I don't. But then I think, I weigh too much. I never think that. I just think, all right, that's what I weigh today.
And I think as well, like when you're doing this sort of thing and you've had that relationship with yourself and the scales, I think just remove them.
Yeah, I think I've come across quite a few clients. It would just that is not a healthy way to live. And they've got like, because some of them have come from like a bikini bodybuilding type of background. So like that is a main thing. And then when you say to him,
take the scales away.
Take the scales away and eat more. They're like, what? Sound right. Okay, I'll eat. And then because they think, I'm going to get fat from eating, but they need to be eating to do all this training. So that's.
I always say to people, it's like you cannot fill a car up to go, say, from Manchester to London with only enough fuel in to go to like Birmingham.
Yeah, I like that.
Like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that, and I think nutrition is such an underestimated thing. And it's like, yes, it's all about like the 80-20 approach, and we're like, you can eat a lot of food with this, and not all of your food, because you've got to eat so much food, is going to be 100% top quality. Like, but the importance of good nutrition is so important, and I think this is where Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is really falling short on the nutritional standpoint of things, because people are saying like, we can have this, and this because it fits within your macros. It's not just about that.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely. I think just enjoy eating carbs. Just like your body needs to eat your carbs. It's like, I suppose you can get to a point where your body won't know to the extent where the carbs come from, but as long as it's in, just eat it.
100%, and you've just got to eat the food. And I think from a coaching side of things, because obviously this is what we do on a day-to-day basis, obviously you've got the app and then you've got your one-to-one and then you've got your classes as well. I think it's important for coaches to have that understanding too.
Yeah.
Because I think obviously your app's like a really like quite a complex app. For instance, I absolutely hate trading apps, which people will realise. But like yours is pretty comprehensive. Like it's.
Right. Yeah.
So well done. But you've got the experts on there as well to kind of advise, do webinars. Like you've got trainings on there to help people, and I think that's where a lot of coaches, I'll say that briefly, really fall short within this industry, because there's not the support there for people.
Yeah.
And it's like,
if you look for it, you can, but you don't, like I didn't know until I got into it that there's so many more areas of support. Like I didn't think I need a nutritionist, I didn't think I need a mindset coach, and then when you start looking into this, if you break the race down, there's like obviously running, then the strength, then there's the erg work, and then people, that's how I got all these coaches, because I thought, well, instead of forking out separate for all these guys, just put it all onto one, and then
you sorted.
Yeah, but like it's good to see everyone's different take on everything and putting it all together. But it's like we've got the James Hall, he does the erg stuff, and obviously he's rapid on those, like, but it's he's done a Hyrox over in Australia, but obviously, so I think his ergs were rapid, obviously, and then when it comes to the running, obviously, and the sled moves like it was nothing because he's a beast. But you just need all the pieces of the puzzle put together, and then hopefully, if it works, and that's where you can start thriving. But the mindset one, that's my favourite out of them all.
Yeah,
he's the one.
It's a complete game changer, isn't it? Like, and that's why we focus so heavily with our. So, like, obviously you've got your app and your support and stuff like that, but we obviously have the one-to-one.
Yeah.
And it is a bit more full-on for people, but I think support is so important in all aspects, not just having the one.
Yeah.
And it's good to have things in different places, but it's so much better to have it all in one place.
Well, I'm guessing you got a community, haven't you?
Yeah.
And just letting them speak to all the other athletes, because it can be quite a lonely, like,
100%.
thing to train for, because it's not like your next door neighbour's not training for it, or when you go down to the gym, it's rare that you see everyone training for the same thing. So when they've got that community, it's like, it just don't stop going off. It's just constantly like everyone's
don't.
just like,
I go on about it all the time.
But it's just so good to see. It's like, it's good to see everyone in the same boat, like, and supporting everyone. Like, everyone will just like get the app up and then start watching everyone's race, wherever they are in the world. And it is like a massive family. It's good just to see it. Obviously, we've seen it grow for the past 3 years, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And it's just, I think
it's amazing to see, though.
Yeah.
Like, seeing, I know we keep saying it, but seeing everyday people do this thing.
Exactly, yeah.
It's fucking madness.
Yeah. I think because when it's this, I don't mean this in, like, it is tricky to do, but most people can just do all of those 9 things, including the run. I think that's where other races of half, like, or the like brands and stuff, have fallen short, where they're doing stuff where not everyone can. Obviously, it looks good.
It's not as accessible.
Yeah, literally anyone can have a go at this, and if that's too hard, then you go and you do like you do a relay where you only have to do 2. There's no excuses. Everyone
can do it, and if you're thinking about signing up to one, do one.
Yeah.
You 2 UK ambassadors here telling you, if you're thinking about it, go and do it.
Oh, no, honestly, you won't regret it.
Even if it's not in the UK.
Yeah, just get a little holiday out of it.
Get a holiday out of it, and it's like, you can have those crazy coaches who will travel all over the world with you, and I think that's...
To go to Poland, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper than going to London.
Yeah.
Or Glasgow.
Barca is cheaper than London.
Well, Copenhagen was cheaper than going to Glasgow and London.
In fact, Poland was cheaper than the ticket. The actual, to get there and back, it was cheaper than the...
Guys, get a holiday out of these.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the sport. Like, you can go so many different places, and it just makes me feel so, like, I don't even know. Like, it makes me feel so whole inside when I see everyone else doing well. Like, obviously, we want to do well.
Yeah.
But for me, it is so much better seeing everybody else do well.
100%.
Like, obviously, I care about what I do, but for me, I get much more of a kick of seeing everyone else do well and who I coach, and I think that's why I'm going to say it, we are good coaches. Yeah. Probably say we're one of the best. True though. No, that's why we are one of the best people in there.
I feel like it's just giving the client or the athlete that support. I've noticed the more support that you give them, the more, like, because I get proper invested in each one. Yeah, we do.
Like, we're friends, like, we're best friends. We talk absolute utter shit to each other at times, but then we also have the deep conversations too about coaching. Yeah.
So, like, I think you said it before, but I'm literally, when I see him cross that line, because I've been screaming all the way, I'm jumping over the barricade, I'm running across the finish line with him, like, get out, no. And there'll be, I think there's Nick so Nick's done a solo, and then she's done a doubles with her son. Oh. So honestly,
I've seen it on your Instagram. Actually,
I was in tears. I was buzzing from both. Like, there was so Nick's done one with her husband, and then she went and done a doubles in Manchester with Harley. And that, do you know what? I'd love to be able to go and do something like that with my son or my daughter or something. It'll be.
Yeah, I've said my kids are going to athletics club.
Yeah.
Because they're being good runners, where I've made my mistake.
No, but it was meant to see. Yeah, it was such a buzz. Like, I felt like I was intruding on someone else's thing, but I was.
Yeah. Well, I was the same, like, with one of my clients, like Helen. She's been through a lot in her life, and for her, she did doubles, then she did another doubles. She did doubles in Manchester, doubles in Glasgow. Yeah. Then she did London Olympia solo on her own.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was sobbing at that finish line because I saw how much it meant.
You've seen the full journey
to her.
Yeah.
And she's on the journey now still. And it's like, these women and men are just absolutely incredible. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. But, like, these women and men are truly, truly incredible who are balancing all plates, having a life, having a family, being that best version of themselves and, like, pushing themselves to be more for them, the future selves, the kids, being that role model.
I'd say it's harder to do that to obviously have a job.
I mean, obviously to be a full-time athlete's hard. We're not distributing that, but
like to get
balancing
it all
life as well when you're not used to having all of this. It is. We're getting soppy and emotional. We're not this person.
I just can't I just buzzing over them two crossing that line. Like, he's in the RAF, the young kid, Harley, and you could see like she just wanted to just prove that, you know, that she was.
She could do it too.
Oh, I want to drag my mum around. That'll be the one. If I can get my mum around that track, she keeps threatening to do it.
I want my younger brother to do it with me.
Yeah.
He's only 15. We'll have to wait another year for that one. Yeah. But he'd love it. He'd absolutely love it.
Get him young, and then.
That's what I've said to him. You need to start running now, pal.
Yeah.
Harris, if you're watching, come on, bruv.
That'd be good. That one in Manchester.
Oh, that'd be something for me.
That'd be I think.
I'm getting upset thinking about it. What the fuck? But that would be mental.
You're crying.
I'm crying.
Oh, he's under pressure now. He's under pressure now.
All the time, every podcast, something's like deep, and Jack's like, "Here we go again." But like, kind of like the last closing thing, and I like asking people this every time they've been on. But like, what does unstoppable mean to you?
Wow. Okay. Should have rehearsed this, shouldn't I?
I didn't even tell you what the podcast was about. He's just rocked up with no idea.
Do you know what? I think if this is like a bit lame, but if I can leave this earth or leave this this planet and think and done something memorable or done something that's like, so it's just even not bothered if it's one person can say, do you know what? Yeah, that was decent. That was unstoppable. The story to how he's got to how he's got. That's my aim in life anyway. So now he's just changed his life around. He's done that, and that's what I'd call unstoppable. I
think that's like a really. No one's ever answered that, by the way, like that. Okay. And I think that really aligns very well with me. And it's like I think. As a coach, you feel like you've got a duty to kind of leave your mark, like someone to be inspired, someone to help. We're doing that on a day-to-day basis. So like our job's done, so we need to enjoy it. We obviously enjoy it, but like
we need to do bask in it. We'll do a Hyrox and just enjoy it, just laugh our way around.
We'll team up.
Yeah.
There's my next doors partner. Cal won't do one.
Well, then we're on.
There we go.
We're on.
Cal, sorry. See you later. See you later. No, but like, it's really nice to have that like kind of mindset and mentality, and I think it's good to hear it from someone else as well, because sometimes you feel like you're all on your own with their mentality switches when you're in such a world of noise. Yeah. And I think it's good to have, like, there's obviously more people like us. We're in a group full of ambassadors who are all incredible as well. But, like, having them connection with different people as well, seeing that, also then seeing, like, that purpose come through is just incredible. Yeah. So, Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
It's been good.
If you want to follow Rob on Instagram, it would be
r.jamescoaching.
Perfect. And thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, you know where I am. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also I'll catch you in the next one.